my fellow humans, and welcome back to another daily dice where we ask the dice for a message and find out what that is. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. So today we are asking, what ancient wisdom are you tapping into? We are using the Sacred Forest Oracle here by Denise Lynn. I love these cards. They're so beautiful. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so Source, what ancient wisdom are we tapping into? What would you like to tell my fellow humans? What sacred wisdom are they tapping into? Source, what sacred wisdom are my fellow humans tapping into? Too many cards. What sacred wisdom are my fellow humans tapping into? One card, please. Okay, thank you. On the bottom, we've got Pegasus, which is on the deck with transcending. It's pretty telling. So overcoming the hardships and really letting our spiritual journey become what leads us along the way. All right, so Source, what ancient wisdom are we tapping into? Source, what ancient wisdom are my fellow humans tapping into? Would you like them to know? What ancient wisdom are my fellow humans tapping into? What ancient wisdom are my fellow humans tapping into? Okay. 11th house, we have Taurus energy and Uranus. So a lot of Aquarius energy here. It feels like what's happening here is that you're tapping into a magic of how to connect with your tribe. This has been like a message for the week, connecting with your tribe, but that's really what it feels like. But it's more than just that. It's like the people who are going to help you be successful, right? You're tapping into people who are going to help get you to the next level. And it's not just like manifestation. This is like literally tuning into your soul frequency at its finest. And that soul frequency is bringing you into connection with the people who vibrate at the same soul frequency. So you're becoming completely aware of who you are, what you want in your life, and that is manifesting in the outer realm. It's like you've gone through a lot. You've overcome a lot. And now you're getting to embrace this place of beauty and love and excitement, and there's going to be stability here and loyalty, and you're seeing that you having the resolve to take this journey is what's opening up doors for you. And I feel like that's all it ever was the wisdom, was having the resolve. And that sounds so simple, but sometimes the most simple answers are the most profound, right? And so it's been a slow journey. They're showing that here. But you're going to be soon indulging on the fruits of life and your labor. And there's something here that's going to be unpredictable that's coming in. Like you're not even seeing it, right? And this wisdom. And we're going to tap more into seeing if Source will reveal that to us. But I do feel like there's an element of surprise here. Like Source wants to surprise you. Like it's like, you've worked so hard. Let me surprise you. Like, let me gift that to you. And I know some of us don't like surprises, but that's okay. Like Source does like to surprise us because, you know, sometimes there's like satisfaction there, right? But it does feel like you're really becoming your original self, and there's going to be a sudden progression all of a sudden. I feel like that's because you're tapping into your soul's wisdom. And that's the ancient wisdom that you're tapping into right now, is just how to connect with the oversaw, right? And your ability to be led by that and not question what it's asking you to do, or not question the path that it's telling you to take. You know, for a lot of us, when we take that journey, it's like we'll question, is this real? Like, should I follow that? Like, what if it's wrong? You know, and part of us, we're really learning how to release that resistance to even things that don't make sense, right? And so I feel like suddenly something happens where you realize it's like, even if it doesn't make sense, I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to do it and see what happens. It's like, maybe you feel someone's toxic for you, right? This is what I'm getting from this. It's like, maybe you feel like someone's toxic for you, and all of a sudden, you know, like your higher self and your intuition's like, yeah, but you need to contact this person. You're like, but they're really toxic for me. Like, I don't want to do that, right? And before you'd be like, no, I think that's my ego coming through. No, and your intuition keeps pushing you, keeps pushing you. It's like, no, you just need to reach out to this person. And so you reach out to them. I'm not telling you to reach out to anybody. This is just an example, okay, of why sometimes we question our intuition. So you reach out to this person, nothing happens, right? But all of a sudden, a trigger comes through and you suddenly start shedding a whole bunch of weight from the past, and like things that you've experienced and memories that you haven't thought of, like, start flooding in, and you sit with it and you're crying and you're healing and you're letting it go, and all of a sudden, and then whoosh, it's gone, and you go to sleep and you sleep better than you've slept in for a long time, and you wake up completely refreshed and renewed, and you're like, holy crap, would that have happened if I hadn't reached out to that person? Like, even if they don't talk to you, it's like almost like that act. It's like your higher self is telling you, like, we have to do this to trigger this. So it's like, it doesn't make sense, and you don't want to question it, but at the same time you want to, because it feels wrong, but it doesn't feel wrong, and it's like a weird situation. So I hope that made sense. I really hope that made sense. But it's, again, I'm not trying to tell you to talk to anybody that's toxic to you. I'm just saying, like, this is that trust that you're building with your higher self. Okay, so, okay, what ancient wisdom are my fellow humans tapping into? I'm going to get 3 cards. I don't usually, but I feel like I need to. Yeah, awareness. Yep. Okay. Exactly. Burning away the old, like that's the thing. Before I get the next card, let's just look at this for just a second. This awareness card. Do you see how there's like this Buddha that's coming through from the veil, and it's like a part of you is like, no, like, I can't do this, stressed out, feels like you're in a horror movie, like, I can't believe this is life. But through experiencing that and truly sitting with yourself and the oversaw and the higher self and connecting with that, you're burning away that old self. You're burning away the emotional ego. You're letting go of those things that are no longer meant to be on your journey, right? It's a lot of weight, and you're letting it go. And that's why it's like coming into this sheer awareness. May I please have one more card, source? Wow. Okay. So which one do you want? Okay. So this one flipped over, but this one I'm going to put on the bottom of the deck because it tried to come out. And it didn't, but it tried to, and so I feel like it wants to be seen, but this one flipped over. So we've got understanding with the Page of Cups. Okay, on the bottom. Okay, now I know why. So the World card is the one that tried to come out but didn't. But completion. This is like everything falling apart to fall into place, right? Like, so this is you realizing that even if it doesn't make sense, like, there's a reason for it. And so you're tapping into this ancient wisdom of just divine trust, divine faith, and beyond illusion. Look at all these blues. Look at all these blues. This is incredible energy, right? It's like emotionally, I feel caged, and I feel like I can't move, and I feel like I'm not able to leave what it is that I knew. But then understanding happens, and you realize that, like, all along, there was no cage. There was nothing really holding you back. It was just a belief or a thought or a process that you had within you. And so we see beyond illusion, right? That your intuition is opening up here. This is a divine connection with you and your higher self, a divine connection with you and source. And it's like, now I realize, like, I'm trusting that. That's why I was saying, like, that example that they were giving me, that's why it was coming through so strong. Yeah, it's like, even if it is toxic, even if it feels like I'm trying not to put the mask on or play the politics, like, you're not doing any of that. It's just, there's reasons that we're asking you to do certain things. It's so you can grow. With the Ace of Coins here, with maturity, it's so that you can grow and we can gift you what you need to move on to the next level. That's the whole purpose of it. And so this is like complete and utter trust. Look, underneath that, underneath the world, we have suppression with the 10 of Wands, right? So you're completing a cycle in which you suppressed a lot of emotions. And so a lot of hardships, a lot of responsibilities that weren't yours to hold. And this is that energy of, I'm going to put you in an uncomfortable situation so that we can let it go. And I feel like before you were tapping into that and it was your higher self is telling you this and you're like, nah, nah, no, doggy afuera. And you're like, it's outside. Let's leave it outside, right? Like, we don't want to, why are we going to try and tap into that? And why are we going to try it? No, like, let's leave it where let sleeping dogs lie. And, you know, it's that one thing and your intuition is like, no, we've got to do this. And you're like, I don't know. And so now you're coming into a place where you're tapping into the wisdom of your higher self, knowing exactly what you need. And you're not questioning that any longer. You're not like, you're just aware. Like, okay, it's obviously pushing me to do something for my own good. Yeah, Venus energy coming out with give and receive love, find value, and see beauty. So now even when things are difficult, like you're seeing the beauty in it, right? Like the clam to make a pearl, it's not like it does it because it wants to. The pearl begins to take shape because it's an irritant. Right? Like a piece of sand gets stuck inside of it and it starts working its muscles and working its mouth to get it out. And the mucus is what hardens on it or whatever it is. It turns into the shell and then it becomes a pearl after a long time. And it's like they never were able to get that irritant out, but eventually the irritant turned into something beautiful and someone else came and took it out. Right? And that's what I feel like that's it. The wisdom is that you're not going to be the one that removes this. They are. Your higher self, source, they're going to be the ones that remove this. Like, I feel like for a long time, maybe you were trying to control the way that you healed or control the way that things happen or control the shedding and all of that. And it's like where you do have some control over it because you have to take action towards it. But there's like this inner standing that's coming up, this deeper understanding that's coming up where it's like realizing, holy crap, like I was never the one that removed that from me. I was just the one that leaned into the feeling of it and then something out other than me. It's not even outside of you because they are within us, right? Like they're not separate from us. But it's like something that's higher than me and omnipresence is the one that took the burden from me. It wasn't me. Right? And so that's what it feels like here. It's like someone outside is taking it, but it's not really outside of you. It's just a greater power is taking hold of that burden from us. And so we've got Sagittarius energy on the bottom with optimism, exploration, and freedom. And you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to feel a lot more pumped to live life now. It's like, all right, I can do this. Like good things are coming and I've got the energy to do this now. And you're not going to be worrying about people and the way that they're showing up, and you're not going to be worrying about the things that are happening in your life anymore. Like even if you're going to work and you get a flat tire, like you're going to trust this, there's a reason I got this flat tire, right? Like this had to happen even though I didn't want it to happen, right? But it's like it's not even that everything happens with purpose. Like that's not what I'm trying to point out here. It's just understanding that like my higher self is leading me to certain situations so that I'm like the butterfly effect, right? Like if butterfly flaps its wings and it affects the world from 10,000 years now, it's like all these things are going to affect your world in the future. And that's what's happening. So we have Don Juan with spotlights your positive seductive qualities, and the shadow is using the power of romantic attraction for private agenda. So you're also tapping into your divine sexual power, and sexual transmutation may be something that you're working with as well. And then we have the Midas or the Miser. Okay, so with the light is entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold. Delight in sharing life's riches. And the shadow is hoarding money and emotions. Obsessive fear of losing your wealth. So this is what you've been letting go of. Hoarding money, hoarding emotions, like a fear of losing something. And now you're coming into this place of turning anything you touch into gold. And so I feel like that's why they're saying they're going to surprise you. There's going to be a huge surprise that's coming through. Something that you're not even expecting is going to happen. and suddenly take off. Yes, thank you so much, Source. We've got God coming through here with the light attributes, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the external force within yourself and others, right? It might seem like it's external, but it's actually an internal force. It resides within each of us. And then the shadow is despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. And I really just feel like this is coming through, showing exactly what I was getting at with the pearl here. And it's interesting, this card, in fact, I don't think this has ever come up but one other time out of this deck since I've been using it. And it's just so interesting that they were leading me to talk about the pearl and how someone else takes the pearl out. And I feel like that's exactly what they're saying. Like, now you're trusting that someone else or source or your whatever you call it is going to take care of it for you. I do want to get a shadow aspect for this reading. Can you please get a shadow aspect for this reading here? Whoa, okay, ending. So ending says, you're pretending that it's not ending, but it's time to let go and make a fresh start. And I feel like this is what it was before. It's like what I was saying with the control and everything. Like, I'm in control of it. I can control when things end. I can control when things happen to me and this, that, and the other. And then it's like recognizing like the only control that I have is to show up. That's the only control that we really have. Like, all other control is an illusion. And so it's like, no longer can you pretend, and that's what it is. And so the ending came when you recognize that the only control you had was over yourself, and everything else was going to happen as it happened, and there was no sense in trying to stress out about it. And that's what it feels like, the type of wisdom that you're tapping into right now. It's just that understanding that as long as you take action and as long as you show up, things are going to work out in your favor. And forgiving. They didn't mean to hurt you, but you were holding on to it. Forgiving helps you get past it. And they're also reminding you to forgive those hardships that have happened to you in the past, right? There's no need for us to continue to hold on to it. There's no need for us to live in that resentment and anger and fear any longer, because it's not serving us. And I do feel like Source is really helping to remove that from you. And that's part of the wisdom as well. Like, maybe you were in a place where you said, I'm never going to forgive. And then all of a sudden one day you're like, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to forgive. And you do. And that's wisdom, right? It might not seem like it, but it is. That's wisdom. So, wow, we've got addiction on the bottom here: drug, alcohol, obsession, and toxic attachments. So this is pointing out that's why it would be hard to forgive. There's someone here that maybe really, really hurt you, whether with their own addiction or through an addiction of self, where it was like, I'm addicted to a pattern or a process or a way of living, and, you know, letting that go. We've got sunset, lost loved one, memories, elder, night falls. And this also is pointing towards ancestor wisdom coming through for me with the sunset, especially with the elder energy here. But it's like those of the past have lived in the energy that you've lived in, and they're helping to bring you to this wisdom, and they're helping you to tap into that. So, and we've got message, communication records, call records, and instant messaging. So just showing here that they've been giving you this message for a while. And I feel like you're getting intuitively drawn to maybe a lot of tarot readings that have been talking about this very same thing. And so that's just extra confirmation for those of you that have had that. It's like recognizing that, wow, they're really trying to tell me something important here, that it's going to trust my intuition, to trust what they're showing me, and to trust that they're not trying to hurt me. We've got follow coming out. Follow instructions, instigation, and faith. So I don't need to pull any other cards because we're getting repeat messages now, right? Like, we really are. And then on the bottom, exploration, creation, experimentation, the universe, and underground. So again, it's this exploration of following, even if that sounds strange, right? But it's like the exploration of following these instructions that's bringing you the healing that you need. And that's what's the type of ancient wisdom that you're tapping into. Let's take a look at your Sacred Forest Oracle card here. Courage with the Aspen Spirit. Look at how beautiful this card is. The blue butterflies and the aspen trees. I grew up in Colorado, and aspen trees are absolutely incredible, especially up in the mountains. Like if you go to Red Feather, or if you go up to Estes Park, or Also, if you go to Aspen, for those of you that are like, Aspen, I already heard it. Yeah, Aspen, it's beautiful in the fall time. I mean, it's beautiful anytime, but just the fall time is absolutely stunning. So it's like this card talks about in the forest, you can hear the whispering of the trees in the aspen grove. Your awareness sinks beneath the surface. You sense the aspen's network of roots, which allows each tree to connect with the rest of the grove. This connection also makes them a single organism, united at a soul level that can live for 1,000 years. So it's like, again, that connection coming through. This is a very clear message, the soul connection, like connecting with your higher self. If the Aspen Spirit card has shown up in your life today, it brings a message of courage, protection, community, and the ability to face and overcome obstacles in life. Know that you are protected and you are safe. You are ready to step forward with courage and grace. No matter what seems to be blocking your way, the Aspen's network of roots is a sign that you should open to support from others. Combine your effort with like-minded individuals, the 11th house energy. You don't need to do it all alone. This may be a good time to bond with people over a creative project or a community endeavor. In Celtic tradition, the aspen was associated with community, endurance, and protection. The Celts chose the wood of the aspen tree to make their battle shields, to protect them from spiritual as well as physical harm. It sheltered the soul from its deepest fears. Aspen was thought to be the teacher of fearlessness and carried a message of strength in the facing the unknown. The spirit of Aspen says, the energy of your inner spiritual warrior is ready to step forward to face any challenges or blockages in life. Be willing to accept help. Be fearless. Yeah, so that's so powerful. I love that this is the card that you got in this reading, because it is talking about that. Like, you're now ready to follow those instructions from the higher self and from source and from your guides, and have the courage to move forward. And so the ancient wisdom that you're tapping into is truly this trust of self. And it sounds strange, like, how is that ancient wisdom? But it's something that is so rarely taught, and it's even more rarely seen. But that's what you're stepping into, and that's a very powerful place to come to. And so it's finding people who are on that same journey and opening up to them as you need. But also this is opening up to your spiritual team as well, and trusting that they've got your back this entire time, okay? So this is what I see for you here. If you feel like this is your message, leave the little butterfly emoji down below and say, choose to listen to my higher self and my guides and source or God or whatever you call it, knowing that I am moving into a place where I can trust that everything that's happening in my life is affecting my future for the positive and for helping to bring me into true alignment. If it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so. How to reach me to get a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member of the channel. And I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spiritual messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.